What is happening, everybody? Greg Ehrenberg here from OddsShopper, and it is time to break down more sports action. And interesting day today because we've got baseball, primarily early games, but are going to be spread out a little bit throughout the day. So if you guys are into betting baseball, good news for you because we're going to have games to sweat pretty much the entirety of today. And then, of course, a couple of NBA playoff games as well. We've got the Miami Heat taking on the New York Knicks, the Heat with a chance to close out the series, and the Lakers taking on the Warriors, the Lakers with a chance to close out that series. So let's get the data on screen and see what is projecting well in the morning. If you guys want access to the data that is on screen, sign up using the link that we have below. 7-day free access to OddsShopper. And this is not going to be around too much longer, our free trial period. So if you guys want to take advantage of it while it's still here, click on the link below and get access to a 7-day free trial. So to start here, I have the NBA games up, and then we'll move over to MLB. But starting with Dennis Schroeder, whose minutes have been all over the place in this series. So Schroeder in the last game did see his minutes pick back up. He ended up playing 36 minutes last game. And one thing that I think, 35 minutes. One thing that I really think influenced the amount of minutes that Dennis Schroeder played last game was the starting lineup change the Warriors made. The Warriors have done a few different iterations of the starting lineup. They tried Kevon Looney. They tried Jermichael Green. Then last game, they landed on Gary Payton II to start. I think that just led to the Lakers having to counter by playing more smaller lineups. So I think Dennis Schroeder overs look pretty good, particularly if we're going to see the Warriors go with another small ball lineup with Gary Payton. Then I think we're going to see the big minutes from Schroeder again. You'll see he's over 2.5 assists. We have that winning 59% of the time. That is minus 120 at Tipico. And that's actually quite a bit better than the lines that are available anywhere else. But still minus 125, that has value, as does minus 128 on FanDuel at our expected win rate there. And one thing else, just keep an eye out for what the Warriors starting lineup is, because if the Warriors go back to starting Kevon Looney, then I do think that would impact negatively the minutes of Dennis Schroeder. But if Gary Payton sticks in the starting lineup, overs look pretty good for Schroeder. So it's funny, some of the Bam Adebayo numbers here, because he's been really inconsistent. It seems like people only remember the bad games for Bam Adebayo and don't really hold on to some of the better games that he's had. Now, with that said, he was really good in the last game the Miami Heat played, but in general, he's been really inconsistent over the course of the series. 28.5 does look like a pretty high PRA for Bam Adebayo. So I lean towards the under here, which is also how we have it projected. Under 28.5, that is available pretty much everywhere at a playable number. So under on Bam Adebayo, and a little bit of an inflated number after he was really good last game. 23 points, 13 rebounds, but hadn't been the most consistent player over the course of the playoffs. So anytime he's coming off a good game where the numbers get pumped up, I think it makes sense to be on the other side of him. Let's see. Anything else really look good? We have over 6.5 assists projected fairly well for Steph Curry, although minus 125 at Tipico is pretty far out of line with most others. Like, I wouldn't put a minus 156 on FanDuel or minus 140 on Bet365. But Steph Curry, I think, is going to have to play just a massive amount for the Warriors today, which is just going to help his overall counting stats because they're in a 3-1 hole here. So for the Warriors to win these games, I mean, we're going to consistently be looking at massive minutes for Steph Curry. He played 42 minutes in their last game and put up 14 assists. I think it's pretty reasonable to expect getting 42, 43, 44 minutes, something like that for Steph Curry today. So I like Steph Curry for over 6.5 assists. Now let's look at baseball. What baseball lines are popping up early in the morning? Lots of total base props. Not a lot of total base props that have projected well as of late. Joey Gallo under 1.5 here. We've got Salvador Perez under 1.5. Luis Robert under 1.5. Let's see. Are there any strikeout props or total bases? Total bases. Here, strikeout prop for Justin Verlander. This is a super low number for Verlander. And let me see. What was his pitch count last game? So Verlander missed the start of the year with an injury. Now, with that said, we have seen Verlander miss time due to injuries in the past, and he's come back without too many issues or too many restrictions. Let's see. I know he didn't have his best start in the world last time out. With that said, though, pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts, 79 pitches. Considering he went 79 pitches in his first start of the year coming off the injured list, I don't think it's unreasonable to think that we're getting 90-ish from Justin Verlander. At the very least, he's going to throw more than he did last game, and he went 79 pitches, 5 innings. I think we should expect about 6 innings for Justin Verlander today. He's going up against the Reds, who just do not have a great offense. 5.5 strikeouts, pretty low number. I think it makes sense to take the over there on Verlander. See if there's any other strikeout props that are standing out. This is really heavily juiced on Clayton Kershaw, under 8.5 strikeouts. Do have a winning 65% of the time. I wonder if that'll go down over the course of the day, though. And boy, Antonio Senzatella, he's back in our lives. So Senzatella is kind of funny because he's never been a great strikeout pitcher, and I've been hard on him a lot of times as well, but I mean, it's hard to expect him to have a lot of success when you have to consider that he's made half of his career starts have come at Coors Field. Senzatella has been a serviceable starting pitcher when he's been on the road. It's a matchup against the Pirates. I do expect regression for the Pirates going forward, but more than anything, you get a big park upgrade for Antonio Senzatella taking on Pittsburgh. Over under 3.5 strikeouts. We have a winning close to 50% of the time, but it's plus 114 on the over there. So I don't mind that as a number on Senzatella. And then just to look at some of these total base props that are projecting really well. Cedric Mullins over 0.5. We got Luis Robert for under 1.5 total bases. Salvador Perez under 1.5. Joey Gallo under 1.5. So these are 4 top projected MLB bets of the day, and I don't really have issues with any of them. One thing that does stand out here is it looks like Bet365 and BetRivers are offering numbers that are quite a bit different from other places in the industry. But let's look at Prize Picks, see what's standing out there, if anything. Make sure we got basketball games that are for today. Yeah. So this is a pretty diverse flex parlay of Prize Picks. We've got 6 legs to it. We've got basketball. We've got baseball. We've got hockey. Gabe Vincent under 11.5 points. Danny Jensen for over 0.5 total bases. Jack Eichel for under 3.5 shots on goal. Bam Adebayo, talked about him before, for under 28.5 PRA. Edward Cabrera under 5.5 strikeouts. He's got such great stuff, but he's just wildly inconsistent. And we're projecting the under to win 56% of the time today. And then Seth Lugo under 4.5 strikeouts, winning 57% of the time. So this 6-leg flex parlay on Prize Picks is going to have an 11% expected ROI there. Let's build out. Should do a FanDuel parlay. Yeah, we'll do a FanDuel parlay. By the way, if you guys have any more questions, comments, anything like that for myself, go check out Chalkboard. It is a free to download app. And then also it's free to get into our channel. So no cost with it at all, but we post additional bets in there, myself and Lofty, and answer questions you guys have. Take this out for tomorrow. So this is a 10-1 parlay on FanDuel that we have winning 10% of the, well, a little bit more. I should add it plus 1050. The reason that matters is the 10% expected win rate leads to a 16% expected ROI. Zach Wheeler over 6.5 strikeouts. We got the BAM under 28.5 PRA. Actually, I'm curious if we take Wheeler out. Yeah, we'll just take Wheeler out. So here we go, one that wins a little bit more often. 19% expected win rate, good for a 14% expected ROI at 5-1. And it's the BAM under 28.5. Griffin Canning over 4.5 strikeouts. And then our guy, Dennis Schroeder here for over 2.5 assists. So a couple of times that we've talked about Dennis Schroeder here, and hopefully we get that starting lineup for the Warriors that includes Gary Payton. That would make me feel better about the minutes of Dennis Schroeder. But anyway, we walked through a little bit of everything, looked at basketball, looked at baseball, built some parlays for Prize Picks and FanDuel. And that's going to do it. If you guys haven't done it yet, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great day and win all your bets. I'll be back here tomorrow.